All right, so welcome back to Single Supper and Suds. If your first time, welcome. So listen, a little bit about this video series if you haven't seen it before. The purpose of this thing is to maximize cooking time to have some healthy, delicious, easy meals through the week. So I'm single, live alone, work full-time job, busy guy. Don't like to spend a lot of time in the kitchen after work. I do actually like to cook, but after a hard day's work, a lot of time you don't feel like doing that. And so the problem is a lot of times you end up going out to eat, grabbing fast food, whatever the case may be. And so that's not particularly healthy, and it can really get expensive really quick. So what I try to do is cook an entree, use that entree, make several nice meals. The other thing that we do with this video series is I like to sample, taste, try, experience different types of beer. I'm a beer drinker, not a big drinker, but I do like to try some different stuff. You know, I just like to drink the same old domestic beer all the time. So I like to kind of see what's out there, and I give my opinion on, you know, how I feel about that beer, for what that's worth, right? So listen, tonight's meal is gonna be quick and easy. If you saw last night's segment, especially the segment the evening before, you'll see that what I did was I fixed a pork roast, and I'll show you how to do that. Guys, you don't need to really get recipes from me. You can Google. There's a million recipes out there of how to fix a pork roast. But I'll show how I do it, and then had a great pork roast and potatoes for dinner the other night. It took about a little over an hour to prepare that meal, but what I did is that I cooked a large enough pork roast that I had leftovers pork. So last night I had absolutely fantastic pork wraps, and check out last night's segment. You'll see how I made those. They were absolutely delicious. I couldn't even eat it all, to be honest with you. It was more than I wanted to eat. But tonight, here I am, almost 5:30, just got home from work, fed the dogs. You can hear Molly licking the bowl down here. And I'm hungry. I'm ready to have some dinner. So what I did was, when I fixed the pork the other day, while it was still nice, fresh, and hot, I took a portion of that and I shredded it, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in the microwave, and I'm going to reheat that. Now, I'm going to do that a little bit at a time, because what I'm going to do is I am going to add barbecue sauce to that. Now, one of my favorite barbecue sauces is called Stubbs. I picked this up at Walmart. Lots of places sell it. I kind of like what I call a Texas style barbecue sauce. It's zesty, it's savory. It's not really, some people like a really sweet, you know, a Baby Ray's or a St. Louis, Kansas City style barbecue sauce, as they call them. I don't particularly like the super sweet sauces. I like more of a tangy, zesty, Texas style barbecue. So what I'm gonna do is heat this pork up a little bit, and I'm gonna mix that around. Okay, still pretty cold there. And I'm gonna add some barbecue sauce. Now guys, you don't have to add it directly to the meat if you don't want to. You can heat your meat up and then put it on a bun, and then you can just put a little of the barbecue sauce directly on that. I prefer to mix that barbecue sauce right in the meat, and then I heat it all together, okay? So now, Stubbs brand that comes in a traditional, what they call an original. There's a sticky sweet. There's a bunch of stuff, flavors of that. But there's a ton of brands of barbecue sauce out there. So whatever you like, sky's the limit on that deal. Do what you choose. This is just what I like. So we're gonna throw that in there for another 30 seconds or so. Then we're gonna stir it up again. So the other part of these segments is that I'm gonna try some beer. Now this is a beer I have not had before. This kind of looked interesting. It's called Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. It says it's a handcrafted beer. So kind of a cool looking bottle. I've not had this before. So I'm gonna open this up, pour it in a glass, and we're gonna see what we think here. Now, as you can see right off the bat, that's a pretty dark beer, you know, some real color to that. Has a nice little head on it there when you pour it. And so I'm gonna stir my barbecue again here. Gotta make sure we heat that nice and even. I like to heat it a little bit, stir it up, heat it a little bit more, stir it up. Barbecue sauce, delicious. So we're going to talk about our beer. Now, as I mentioned the other night, a lot of times, folks, to really get a good idea of a beer, you got to get past that first taste, right? So I'm taking a little drink of this beer. We're going to kind of let that marinate on the palate for a second, and then I'm going to take a second drink and tell you what I think. Now, I can tell this beer, just based on the aroma, is much more of a dark, hoppy beer, heavier grain, probably made with wheat, or mixes of wheat, barley, hops. But it's pretty stout. It's not overpowering, but it's definitely got a lot of flavor to it, a lot of aroma to it. So we're going to heat that up a little bit more, and now we're going to take another taste of our beer for this evening. So I can't emphasize this enough. You really get a better feel, a better flavor that second drink. And so this is a pretty bitter beer. There's a lot of hops to this, and it's a pretty bitter beer. The finish is real important to me on a beer, and that's that lingering flavor that's kind of on the back of the tongue after you have taken the drink. It's fairly bitter, probably a little more bitter than what I like. This would probably not be something that I would stock in the fridge. It's not a bad beer, don't get me wrong. If you like a darker, hoppier, more bitter beer, then you're gonna like this. Probably not my thing, but it's not bad. But probably of all the beers that I've tried so far, this has been my least favorite. So, for what it's worth, not my thing. A little on the bitter side, kind of a very bitter finish on it. So, guys, what I'm going to do here, obviously, I am making some pork barbecue sandwiches. I'm going to grab a paper plate because it makes cleanup a little easier. All right. Probably going to have a couple. Now, you might ask yourself what I'm doing for a side. Guys, I've got leftover salad in here from a couple nights ago. I've got some baby spinach. You can have some French fries if you wanted to. I got those in the freezer. I'm not fixing those tonight because I'm Warner. I don't really feel like taking another 25 minutes to fix some fries. We'll show you what kind of fries I fix one of these days. A little healthier choice, baked in the oven, not fried in oil. So a little healthier choice there. They're really good. So we're gonna make it simple this evening. And there we go. So guys, pretty simple. Pulled pork sandwich, a cold beer, and that is a delicious barbecue pulled pork sandwich. I may fix a little salad when I'm done here. I kind of like to laugh and say salad isn't really food, but salad goes good with something like this. You could just have something simple. Again, the goal of this series is to simplify your life, maximize your cooking time. So, great sandwich, easy fix. Means 5:35. 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes or so, and I'm eating dinner. So I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you liked it, please give me a like, subscribe so that when one of these drops in, you'll get notified. You can check it out, see what you think, and tell your friends about it. So listen, until next time, enjoy, I'm out.